Alright, time to watch episode 2 of Road Rats.
Calm down! You fucking calm down! Who's running this fucking trailer park?
My goodness, I haven't even seen the episode yet and it sounds intense.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for the Road Rats. This one's going to be doing my review for the second episode of the final season. This one is our review for Season 3, Episode 2, titled Enter the Dragon.
I don't know what the hell I just watched, but let's review it. Okay, so, thank you all so much for watching, of course, the double premiere of the Road Rats, if you've been watching them, of course. I guess we're gonna get into our review for episode 2. This episode, holy frig me, man. I like the premiere, but this episode was like, it smoked the premiere. Like, this episode, holy crap. So, this, to me at least, is probably, if not the best episode of the series, because I don't think it's the best episode. I'd still say that's the Season 2 finale. But besides that, this is the best episode the show has released. I know that might surprise some people, but this episode was spectacular. This was so good. Basically, this episode takes place after the premiere. It's literally the next day. After the death of Dan, after all that stuff. And right off the bat, I was intrigued with this episode, with the flashback sequence. So, we get a flashback of Dax and Luke before, the world fell apart, before the Road Rats, kind of all got, fallen apart and all that. And basically, you've got Luke, who is, kind of talking with Dax, and they're kind of like having a discussion about stuff and all that. And we see in this one how Luke treats his daughter, Jenna, who kind of approaches her dad and stuff like that. And we find out that Luke is a piece of crap. He insults her. He completely just, threatens her even too to like whoop her ass if she don't get the hell out of there. Like, there's a lot of really intense dialogue between the two of them. But he is a deadbeat father. That's one thing we get from that flashback. He is a deadbeat father. And I thought that was such an interesting scene because then in the current timeline, we see Dax and them being treated, like absolute dogs. And, Cypher says like, well, I hope you guys all got your sleep because today Dax and Carly are going to help me with something, and, they're going to take out a settlement of people that are a threat to the Road Rats, etc., etc., and I hope you're ready, Dax, because that's what you're going to do, right? So, really amazing introduction, and we learn that Luke has not always been good. That's what I like about it. We actually find out that he isn't all that good, even before he became Cypher, Now, after that, we get to see Porkchop. He is, of course, taken in by Duke. He is thrown into a cell because they don't trust him right away. And we meet a group of survivors led by a character named Nadia. Now, Nadia is the leader of the rebellion against, of course, the dragons, right? Which, of course, the dragons are a huge empire of, villains and stuff, and she is going after them, and she is leading this rebellion. So, we get to figure out a little bit about her. Now, I did get a confirmation from the showrunner himself, Mega Matt, and I'm assuming this is okay to mention, so I'll specify it for everybody else that is wondering. But if you're wondering where the rebellion started originally, where the rebellion took place, it is because of the guy in Season 2, Episode 6 that, of course, was, getting all, like, chopped up by that meat grinder and stuff like that. Apparently, because of him getting killed, that is what started this group going after the dragons, right? So that must be his people. So that was cool that was set up in 2B, and then we see him now, his people at least, fighting back for what happened to him. So that was pretty cool. So the guy that got chopped up in Season 2 by the meat grinder, now that's what that's about. So I thought that was pretty awesome. I thought that was a cool kind of connection. So yeah, that was insane. But anyway, after that, basically, we get to see Porkchop. He makes a deal with Nadia to where he's going to go attack one of the dragon's settlements in order to get information. They want to take the insurgent captured, from what they were saying. They want to capture the insurgent and then get information out of them. And basically, let's go over this plot first. So, Porkchop and Duke go in. They fight. Really amazing cinematography in this episode. The music, guys, as well. That's another thing I want to point out. The music was so on point this episode, it's not even funny. The music was intense. It was original. The overall vibe of the music, like, I don't know what it was about this episode compared to the other ones. Not to say, like, the other ones are bad, because the other episodes were amazing too. But this episode, I don't know what it was. The music was so captivating. I really, really hope that Matt keeps this kind of, vibe to it, because this really felt cool. This was a really cool feeling episode with the music and the soundtrack. I don't know what it was. It connected with me more than the other ones for some reason. But yeah, so they go in basically. We got a really, really cool location for the battle with Porkchop and Duke versus these dragons. And you know, you get a really, really cool shootout, which obviously I'm not gonna go over everything about shootout because it was just a shootout, but the shootout was really intense. There's a lot of really intense moments with the dragons where they're fighting back against them. Really gory kills in there as well too. But the biggest thing about it, and you think that this is kind of like an average shootout at first, and then Chang comes in, right? Which of course that really pisses Porkchop off. So Chang actually fully tells Porkchop in this episode as they're firing back at each other that I have dealt with Dan, that we've killed Dan, you know? So he tells Porkchop that. And he says, Dan is gonna die thinking that you were a piece of crap to Carly. He's gonna die thinking that you did that voluntarily, you know? And Dan is never gonna be able to know that, the truth behind it, right? So I thought that was really a cool villain moment for Chang. And Porkchop fights back against him. He's super angry now that Dan is dead, that he can never reconcile with him ever again. And they fight back and forth. Now, their fight scene was pretty intense. Obviously, Chang wasn't going to die in this scene, but it did come, kind of close until his men came in with that big gun and started firing and stuff. So you knew that he wasn't going to die at that moment. But I'm not going to lie, during that fight, I actually did think that there was a possibility for Chang to die. I did. I really, really did. So anyway, they're fighting back and forth. You got the guys that come in the truck. The truck gets blown up by Porkchop with this grenade, which I also really enjoyed. That was a really awesome scene where they blow the truck up and stuff. Now, Chang does get away, and Porkchop catches up to him, and he wants to kill him. I mean, he badly wants to kill him. But Duke steps in and says, like, look, man, like, I'm sorry to tell you, but, I know you want to kill him. I understand. But we're going to have to take him back to Nadia because she needs the information. You know what I mean? We need the information about the dragons. This is the only way that you can get your people out by this. So, we're going to have no choice, right? So that was that plot. I really enjoyed it. And by the end of it, you've got Nadia that's starting to torture Chang, right, for information. So, yeah. That was a phenomenal plot. Now Porkchop is with these guys fully, and the rebellion is going on forward. And I really like Duke so far, and I like Nadia as well, too. I think there's some cool new characters. So, yeah, very much enjoying them so far. But now the other plot in this episode is with Dax and Jem. Now, they are forced to take out a settlement of people, right, by Cypher. And basically, if Dax and Carly do not do this, Jem is going to get killed right on the spot by Cypher. Now, to correct the mistake, I would say that was in the first episode, because if you guys don't know, I did have one major issue with the first episode, which is that Dax and some of his people were, in the first episode, they went out, and it was only Cypher that was there, right? And it was just him, no army, no nothing. I love how in this episode, in my opinion, the flaw was corrected because they're about to attack a settlement of people. Dax and Carly do not want to do this, but you know what Cypher does? He has a gang of people with him. And on top of that, he's got Jem held at gunpoint, and they will shoot her on sight if Dax and them do not do this. So that was perfect. I love that. I love how that was done. And they go in there, they attack them. You get another amazing shootout, in my opinion, with a lot of really great cinematography. The snow in this episode was so cool, especially in this battle. I really, really enjoyed it. And basically, they go in there, guns a-blazing. And the big plot of this one is that when they're going through the location, Dax runs into a young kid, right? And another young girl. So you get a young boy and a young girl that are in this shootout. They're about to die. And Dax does the right thing and tries to save them, right? He gives them the opening to escape, which I thought was really nice of Dax because obviously Dax is not going to kill kids, so he gets them out of there, right? Wait a minute. No, he doesn't. There's a plot twist to this episode. Unfortunately, Cypher is steps ahead, many, many steps ahead from, Dax, and Cypher ends up bringing the kids out and demands that Dax kills the kid just so that Jem doesn't get her head blown off in that moment. That's right. So he forces Dax to kill a kid just so that Jem doesn't die. I thought that scene was absolutely insane. I thought that scene was absolutely gut-wrenching because that, to me, really solidified the power that Cypher has. And that's what I've been waiting for his character. Like, he's had powerful moments, don't get me wrong. He's had moments that are good, but they felt very just, they're just there, right? It's just like, kind of simple villain introduction. I got the leverage over you, etc., etc., This scene you feel the pain that Dax has to go through, and when he has to kill that kid because Jem's life is at stake. He can't sit on it for a few minutes. He can't think about it for a little bit. No, he has to do it. Dax is forced to do this, or Cypher will kill Jem. You know what I mean? Which I thought was absolutely insane. Yeah, and he does just that. He kills the kid, which I thought was absolutely insane. So, to me, that was the most insane Cypher moment of the entire franchise so far. That scene was absolutely insane. Out of this world. So, yeah, now we get a few other moments back at the building, of course, at the Cypher compound. You know, a few minor, you know, slower dialogue moments or whatever, but for the most part, that's the episode right there. You've got Wong and them, they're trying to, like, figure a way out, but they can't find a way out. And Dax says that the only way that they're going to get through this is by sticking together as a family. So, that was pretty cool. But there you go. That is episode 2. Mind-blowing episode this week for the Road Rats. I loved this episode all the way through. Pork Chop's plot, amazing. The Dax plot, amazing. Yeah, this to me was, besides the season 2 finale, it's my favorite episode of Road Rats. I absolutely loved it so much. So, let me know in the comment section below. What did you guys think of episode 2 of the Road Rats? Did you think it was as awesome as I did? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos for the Road Rats. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys very soon for more videos for the Road Rats. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.